Good morning, speed gaming, and afternoon to those of you in Europe and other parts of the world. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Bigfoot. How you doing, Bigfoot?
Oh, I'm very, very well. Thank you. And how about yourself?
I'm good. Nice early morning. Woke up to see snow outside in March. Always fun.
Oh,
But
wow.
we do have a Link to the Past league race here. Week 2, Ambrosia Seed, between Zeitnix from A Link to the West Coast and Taale from the Missing Bow.
Yes, should be a very interesting race. I've watched Taale and Zeitnix in first round, but I don't remember how they did. But I watched them both, I know that. It should be pretty exciting.
They are both. The teams are both 1 and 2. I do know Zeitnix raced last week, but I don't know whether he won or not. But well, should be a pretty good matchup of 2 1 and 2 teams. So somebody's gonna get their second win today.
Oh yes, oh yes. I'm looking really forward to this one. My first Ambrosia game to comment, so pretty exciting.
Yeah, I suppose we should talk a little about Ambrosia. I know most of you by now know this by heart. We've been doing this for almost a full week. But Ambrosia is a little bit different, based off of, first of all, standard mode. So we will start in Uncle's house. We will have to rescue Zelda and go to the sanctuary that way. You'll notice they have a sword. So we are going to get an assured sword, which will show up after the Uncle's check, although the uncle won't actually give us the sword. And right now we're gonna get our boots hint in the dark world.
In the dark world, huh? That's
So
that's a lot of places it can
yeah,
be.
doesn't narrow down very much. I mean, sometimes we get the boots hint as being in a specific dungeon. Could be the light world, could be Death Mountain, or in this case we got dark world. So it doesn't really tell us a whole lot.
Yep. And last thing about Ambrosia, every boss in every dungeon has a guaranteed item. So no compass, no map, no big key, no small key, but a guaranteed item. So every dungeon has its standard number of item, but one of them is guaranteed to be on the boss.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important part, because that's the part that's really different than any of the other modes, because no other mode has that guarantee. Changes the way you might route a little bit. For a crystal dungeon, it's a very nice thing because you know that item's on the boss. So once you find, say Tower of Terror's first item, you know you just go straight to the end. On a pendant dungeon, not so great because again, you know the item has to be on the boss, and you know to get all the items you have to kill the boss, which you don't always want to do.
Yeah, except we got the pet seed that the chat has already been wishing. So
Chat always wants a pet seed.
yeah.
Okay, so we did see a drop there of a single heart. I haven't seen if they got a drop before that. That could mean we are in a prize pack. Oh, nope, but that's a heart and then a set of arrows. So not a bomb prize pack. What you're looking for, obviously there's the bomb prize pack. That'd be ideal. What you're looking for is a heart and then a fairy. Will get you to a eventual 8 bomb drop. Or if you start with the small magic, you'll eventually get a single bomb drop.
Yep, we will have another prize pack coming later. I think the green guards and the snakes share one prize pack, and then the rats will have another. So there's another chance for us to get some bombs.
Yeah, and of course you want those bombs so you can check the item in the back of the escape. Ideally, they'll both get that drop, or they just find them in the chest, and then it's not even an issue.
Yeah, okay, that's another possibility. I really miss those times when we had bomb and arrow upgrades in the chests as well. That was fun.
There were an insane number of bombs and arrows in some of those seeds.
Yeah, but I think we get too many bombs now in between the items, and almost too many arrows. It's too easy to get them nowadays.
Sure is.
Well, it's okay if you're running, but as a as someone who watches it, I'd like to struggle with them more sometimes. But it's always good to see that both get bombs and escape, because have one not finding any bombs and the other one does, and then there is maybe a very important item in the back of escape, maybe even a glove. That's always not nice to see.
Yeah, the glove is probably the worst case scenario, just because good chance that is your logical first glove and won't be able to get the second one without it.
Yeah.
And if you don't get it the first time around, you have to go all the way back through the escape to get it, and that's no fun.
Yeah. About half a year ago, I watched a seat where both gloves were in the back, and only one of the runners got a bomb.
Oh,
So
yeah, that'd be really rough.
that race was over about 5 minutes in. So that's terrible to see. Because if you don't get a bomb, you're either waiting for a glove to get back there, or you're last locating it. That's everything
for sure.
you do. So yeah. Those synchronity between those is quite amazing. They're really same place.
Yeah, so the one bad thing about any kind of standard mode is not a whole lot to talk about during the escape, as they're pretty much doing the same thing for a little bit.
Yeah, about 6 minutes or so. Oh,
And
a
a mushroom. Okay, we got our first fetch quest of the game.
Yeah. Could be routed in kinda early with a fake flipper from Link's house. Go south to Dark World portal and set up a fake flipper there. I've seen that quite often. But I think first, after here, this escape, we will see them go through the woods to Kakariko.
So I did see that rat drop a bomb. If they were paying attention, they might want to just farm up some bombs on their way out, just to. This looks like it is the bomb price pack, or maybe not, because the second one didn't drop
Yeah.
anything. But
Well, they both got 4 or 5 bombs, so it's
4 and
okay.
5 is not bad. Having them for Kakariko is nice.
Yeah.
It's not quite as important after Kakariko anymore in Ambrosia, because you do have that sword to kill things with. Mini
Yeah.
Moldorm Cave being a particular bad spot if you don't have a good weapon. You want to have all 10 bombs if you can.
Yeah, but we have so many bombs in the in the item pool, so they are almost guaranteed to find at least 3, maybe more bombs in Kakariko. So bombs shouldn't be a problem from now on.
That's right. And like I said, with that sword, you don't have to waste them to kill things, so you're looking pretty good at this point.
Yeah.
And it looks like Zeitnix is going to go at least check some of these tree poles and maybe check the bush crab. Might go ahead and do the lumberjack checks. Taale just going to go straight to the Lost Woods checks.
Yeah, just a big 20 there. Let's see what Lumberjack has, and that's just another big 20.
So we will not be killing Aga for the item today.
Yeah, and I believe Taale found the first glove upgrade.
So yeah, for those of you that wanting to have that Aga seed, so far not looking good.
Yeah, we'd still need another sword and a lamp, or a cave and a lamp. So a cape, not a cave.
And at this point, we just need the hammer. We need the moon pearl for either one, so I don't really count that as far as Aga versus regular Dark World axes.
Yeah, we still got the possibility of a moon pearl on the pyramid.
That can happen. Pretty rare, but it does happen.
Yeah. Well, my favorite location I've seen once is a moon pearl on Pad.
We haven't seen a map check. That takes a very specific pendant setup.
Yep, you have to have all 3 pendants in the light world. But well, I've seen that once and it was glorious.
I'm sure chat would love that. On the other hand, if you have a book to check it early, that isn't so bad.
Yeah. We'll see, we'll see. We should mention that our runners found a bottle, which is very nice in Kakariko because you can check the sick kid. You don't have to come back for that later.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. I mean, even though you're going to be in this area a lot, even just remembering that you can check that now if you get the bottle later is a lot more difficult than just checking it right away.
Well, since we have already some money, I'm just starting to think. Now go South Shore, and then after Ice Road Cave, do a fake flipper maybe.
Maybe. I'm not sure the runners would do that unless they have a moon pearl. If
Yeah.
at least for Zora's domain, you kind of want to be able to do all those checks at once.
Yeah.
They're
That's,
close to having enough money for Zora, even Taale having paid for the bottle vendor they're both at 437 in fact.
yeah. But there are still a few checks. We'll see. I think if they get the Moon Pearl at latest at Ice Road Cave, they'll do a fake flipper.
Oh, sure. Or maybe they'll just get flippers. They don't have to,
Yeah.
they get fake flipper.
Yeah, Water Walk is kind of quicker.
Yeah, not gonna see a water walk. We know the boots are in the dark world, so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a flute. That was a
Oh,
flute, wasn't it? I did
yes.
see a flute there, right?
Yeah, that was a flute.
Okay, well, we know we're gonna get the boots now, unless Misery Mire is a pendant. And even then, we're probably still gonna get the boots to get that flute.
Yeah. But well, a flute could be... boots can be hidden quite late in the seed now. With being in Dark World. And there's our next bottle with a fairy.
Taale decides to take that. It's a bit of an extra safety. A lot of runners maybe wouldn't pick that up. It's probably one of those items that if you blind check the race game, you're probably going to pick it up, but if you check it ahead of time, maybe not going to go back for it.
Yeah. I think Zeitnix will also pick it up. Since he's checking the race game from inside.
Yep. Yeah, and so just to be clear, in the Dark World, we don't have a separate setting for Death Mountain items. Dark World does include all the Death Mountain checks that are in the Dark World. Apparently, we learned recently purple chest is included in the Dark World because the chest is in the Dark World, even though the item gets picked up in the Light World.
Yeah, I
Apparently, that
saw.
came up in a recent seed.
Yeah, lately I saw a seed where the boots were in Cave 45, and I think the uncle said Dark World as well.
K45 is still Light World, and I think that was a Light World hint, but
Yeah, it's possible. I didn't see the first minute of the stream, so it's possible. But well, you have to be in Dark World to get there, so.
For sure. Yeah. The Light World hint covers a lot of locations. It is basically the stuff. If you look at a spoiler log, the way the spoiler logs are split up is into different segments of the game, and there's a huge list of Light World locations that starts off the spoiler log. So.
Oh yes, oh yes. Yeah, Taale goes to Agina. I've seen that play lately pretty often. To go from the dam to Agina and then do Minimodom Cave later.
Yep, this could be big if there's something here, and just could be a waste of time if there's nothing here. It's the kind of gamble you take. Do you, take the time to go someplace worse and hope your opponent doesn't?
Yeah, Zeitnix does same thing.
Yeah, same routing, okay.
We just had a map check and I saw that desert was a normal pendant and the other two were normal crystals. So nothing too exciting.
So much for Moon Pearl on pad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sad. Oh, I did not see what was on Desert Ledge there.
It was just a big 20.
So we won't be seeing that again.
Not likely. At least not in Zeitnix side. I don't know if Taale checked that or not.
Yeah, she might, but she'll see at some point that desert is a pennant, and then she will hope to never have to go there.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll check it if she goes to Mire. Just jump down and check it real quick, and then flute back to 6.
Yeah, it's a pretty common play as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that Moldorm being a little bit trolly, but we'll get through it.
Yeah, just about. Oh, the bugnet.
Mini Moldorm Cave, not giving us much today.
Yeah, not particularly helpful today. Now we'll see Icewood Cave. Well, right now I wouldn't do the fake flipper. The Eastern should be more attractive right now.
Yeah, right now we don't have a whole lot of in-logic checks left. They can't go. They could go to the mountain, but they can't do that in logic. They don't have the lamp or a flute.
Yeah,
Like you said, they could do the Zora is in logic, so that would be the one reason to do the fake flippers is so you're getting other stuff. But you still can't do the waterfall cave without a moon pearl or without actual flippers. And
yeah.
you know, I often like to just check the hobo, get that out of the way with fake flippers, and not have to worry about it later. But that's also not in logic without flippers. So
yeah, I think Taale will go Sasha and then Eastern.
and it's certainly the most item dense area that we have as well. So it wouldn't be a bad idea. Although maybe also at this point could turn in that mushroom, see if that gives us anything. Could reset out of it if this point if it turns out to be nothing, and save that mushroom for a potential fake powder later.
And Taale's going to do that. She'll check mushroom and then maybe go on to check Zora.
I mean, if you're not going to also be able to check the waterfall, just walking over here is just as, I don't know if it's just as fast or not, but it's certainly not a huge difference. Especially if you're turning in that mushroom and don't have the flute to do it with.
Yeah. Well, turning in the mushroom without boots or mirror or so, it's always takes ages. But
And
it's worth it.
gonna keep that.
Yeah.
Even though these runners probably can do dark rooms if they need to. Picking up that lamp could be their fire source, or places like desert or Hera, and might be needed for that. So you don't turn that down without a fire rod.
Yeah.
And it looks like Zeitnix is going to make the same play, so he'll pick up his lamp.
Yeah, that might bring some more items in Eastern in logic. Because we have that dark room before the vanilla big key chest.
Yep, that'll bring that item in particular in logic. Potentially, also would bring in Armos Knights in logic if we had a bow. Armos Knights in logic with a fire rod as well, but we don't have a fire rod yet, so. But we do need the bow for that. Looks like Zeitnix is not going to continue on to Zora though.
Yeah, where would you go now? Would you go the mountain or would you go Sasha and Eastern? Because mountain just is 2 items and 1 we can see. Eastern is 5 items.
Yeah, I mean it's a crystal Eastern. You hope you find a bow and you can finish it. The problem with the mountain, as you say, is you can't get very far without a mirror or a hook shot. And we don't have one of those yet. Ideally, you'd want to go there after you have that. It is fully in logic now that we have a lamp, though. Lamp and glove, we'll put that in logic. And it almost had to be the lamp that put it in logic, given that we know that the flute, the other thing that puts Death Mountain in logic, is locked by the boots, and we know the boots are in the Dark World. So it might be a while before we get to those.
Yeah, and we get our first diversion here. Zeitnix is going Sasha and Eastern, and Taale is going to climb the mountain.
Yeah, so far, not a whole lot there in Saha's closet. Hopefully, there's a little more in Eastern Palace.
Well, a vanilla bow would definitely be a troll.
And the nice thing about what Taale is doing, of course, is that she will get that save and quit spot, which is always nice to have for a quick access back to the mountain.
Yeah. I wonder, both will see 2 items now, and who will find progression? I think... Oh, what could we find in progression? Because the
Oh,
Moon
and
Pearl
that's
at
a
this
moon
point...
pearl.
But
It
Moon
doesn't give
Pearl at...
us anything yet.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you want it, you need it. It'd be funny if
But
the hammer turns out to be an Eastern, and so they each have half of the progression they needed.
yeah, but you definitely don't want to find the cape right now. Because that would mean Aga won.
Cape or Master Sword.
Yeah. Well, Taale, what are you gonna see here? A hook
That's a hook
shot.
shot.
That's very nice.
That's a really nice find because now she'll be able to go to the east part of the mountain.
Yeah, and that's
Still
another...
can't, still can't go to Hera unless she finds a hammer along the way. But at least you can clear out 8 items over on
8
East Death
items,
Mountain.
yes. Yes, 8 items. Maybe she'll find the mids and can go Dark World. Until now, Eastern is a bust. I think Zeitnix got 1 item.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much of use in Eastern.
He'll hope that the item is now in the big chest. Then he don't have to go to the vanilla big key chest. Oh,
And there's the mitts.
that's actually an advantage for Zeitnix, because when he comes to the mountain now, and I think he'll go there now.
It's about all he
Maybe,
has.
yeah. Then he'll be able to do Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, he'll get his hook shot. So basically, gonna be able to clear almost all of Death Mountain, Dark and Light. Won't really be able to do Spike Cave. There's that Master Sword and some flippers.
Very nice.
Won't be able to do, say, Ether Tablet. So there's a couple of locations that they're going to leave behind. Still can't get to Hera without a mirror or a hammer.
Yeah. And since chat is already digging Aga, burying Aga, well, not completely, because
No.
if the hammer is somewhere on Pyramid or on Red Bomb, well,
Yeah, there's some logical implications as far as Aga goes. There are ways to break around that. So
yeah,
there's a good chance that these runners still would not have to do Aga. But yeah, if the hammer were in the east part of the Dark World, then by logic you'd have to still kill Aga to get over there.
yes.
Oh right, yeah, we have the flippers now, so we can get there with
Oh
the
yeah.
flippers.
Yeah,
So there's only the very niche possibility of Pyramid Fairy having the hammer, which is
yeah, but
pretty rare.
even
Well,
there are possibilities to get
yeah,
there.
there are ways to sequence break that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, should be pretty interesting to see where Taale goes next. I
Yeah,
can't
I
really...
think Eastern is all she's got, unless we get a hammer here.
Well, flipper checks.
Oh, flippers. Yeah, the flipper checks won't be quick. So yeah, unless the flipper checks give us a hammer or something that leads us
Yeah.
away from needing those gloves or those mitts.
Yeah, would be really bad for her if she finds something like a hammer now, because then she'll probably miss her mitts until she gets a bow.
Yeah, worst item that Taale could get at this point would be, our best item would be a bow.
Yes.
That would just lead her straight to Eastern.
I don't think Taale would gamble Aga 1 now. She knows that there's at least well, there is 5 items she can get in Eastern, and the probability of the hammer or mids being there is not too bad. So I think
Yeah, it's a tough one. I could definitely see gambling Aga at this point. You have
yeah,
everything. The seed's pointing to it. You have the Moon Pearl. You have Master Sword Lamp. You have everything you need to do it. And Eastern being a crystal would mean a double dip if you had to go there.
yeah, but I've seen Taale sometimes. She won't do that.
Okay.
I don't think so. And very
Oh,
interesting, Zeitnix. Oh, when we get a map check, Port is green pendant, Thieves Town is blue pendant. I think.
and we can now confirm that Aga will not be required for any situation because one of those red crystals was at Swamp Palace, which needs a
Yeah.
hammer.
Yep.
So the hammer can't be behind that.
Yeah, what I was going to say, very interesting that Zeitnix skipped Paradox Cave.
Yeah, like all those items there, and with the mids could do the dark checks
Yes.
as well. Can
That's,
fully that's 6 items in the dark world and 8 items in the light world. That's
yeah,
14 items. It just doesn't want to check right now.
and that's very interesting.
Maybe wants to wait till he has a hammer or a mirror so he can go to Tower of Terror as well.
Yeah, but he'll, as we know, he'll miss his Master Sword, he'll
Yep.
miss his flippers.
He's gonna have to get there at some point. Those flippers will be required for Swamp Palace. Logically required for Ice Palace, but if Swamp Palace weren't a crystal, then you could just fake flipper to ice.
Yeah, but we have neither bombers nor the fire rod right now, so
No, not going there anytime soon.
yeah. Well, you can do most of Thieves Town.
Yeah, it's a pendant thieves town. Definitely should check the front of it. Whether you go to the back may depend on how many items you see. We saw a container heart and now a compass. So at most there could be one more item in the front.
Yeah, because we'll
Double
have to see the Bicky.
double dipping thieves town is never a nice thing because we can't get to the big chest
Yeah,
unless we find a hammer in here. So it's I never like pendant thieves town just because there's nothing really pointing you there other than hey, you're in the dark world.
yeah. But well, we are well now that this doesn't count as Dark World because if the boots were here, you would get a. Oh, but that's
The cane is nice.
nice.
Looks like Zeitnix is gonna. Oh nope, gonna save. I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, two items in the back. One of them on blind. It's tempting.
Okay, looks like Taale
Oh,
not gonna go to Eastern. Is gonna go ahead and kill Aga.
oh, Taale, don't do that, Taale. That will hurt her.
Yeah, these are 5 minutes that she's not gonna get back.
Yeah. And it won't really help her because it opens not too much for her.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
we already
okay.
seen the lumberjack item is already. We already know that's 20 rupees.
Yeah, well, she got the flippers and hookshots, so she can get to Eastern Dark World from
Yep.
Aga, but no, not good for her.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while before she gets to Eastern now.
Yes.
She really needs to find a bow, and a mirror would be nice too. But yeah, it needs to get to Eastern for those mitts, and just doesn't want to go there without being able to finish it. I think. Meanwhile, Zeitnix on green mail is gonna have to be careful here because those crickets will do 2 hearts of damage if they hit you. Now, if we do find nothing in the back of Thieves Town, that could even out this play a little bit, as Zeitnix is spending time in the back of a pen and dungeon that may not be necessary at all.
Yeah, it could help Taale, but on the other hand, I have seen runners go in there not at all, and we know Taale has to because she'll find her Somaria there.
Yep. Yeah, it has to do the front, but maybe skips the back. So I mean, that'd be the best case scenario right now. Is nothing in the back of Thieves Town for Taale and her not going there.
Yeah, I think the probability of her going there is pretty high because she won't get her mitts
Yeah.
fairly soon, and no bow, no hammer. That doesn't make Pod very attractive. So I think she'll go after Aga. She'll go Eastern Darkwood and there go into Thieves Town.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe dip Skullwoods before. But I think first thing she'll check is Catfish because Dark World. Maybe the boots are there.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea. It's one of those locations that's very often orphaned by runners, and if there's something good there, it might be a while before Zeitnix gets there. So that would be a definite advantage for Taale.
Yeah, and there aren't actually too many Dark World locations. There are a lot of them on the mount, but here in the overworld, not too many I can recall.
Yeah, it's a much smaller amount than say the light world, but the dark world ones do count as possible places for the boots, uh, which also makes it even more interesting. Oh, a book. That's a maybe. We don't know if that's required or not. Especially with Desert
Yeah.
Palace being a pendant. So that's a really interesting find for Zeitnix. But yeah, to my point, the boots could be in one of those Dark World, Dark Death Mountain locations. So it makes it a little even more surprising that when Zeitnix was over there, did not decide to do the East Death Mountain checks. Could have found boots there.
Yes. Well, he's going to do here Dick Game and Stumpy and then Hype Cave. That's some other Dark World checks.
And let's see what's on the pyramid. Just some bombs.
Yeah, boots there could have been good for Taale.
Yep.
Because Zeitnix won't get them until he finds the hammer. Probably.
Yeah, with Mitt's Dark World axes, not a whole lot of incentive to go to the east side. It's a long walk, especially without the boots. Since you only have that one Dark World access point, so you have to go all the way to the other side of the world if you're going to go over to the potty area.
Well, at least Taale has a potion. She picked up a green potion, so she can do the bottle glitch. So even if Pod is bowlocked, she can do quite a lot in there.
Yeah, and the with version 31 and the progressive bows, that potion glitch is a lot more powerful because we've seen a lot of bows in the bow locked areas since B31 has come out.
Oh yes, oh yes. Can be good, can be bad. Maybe she'll find a mirror here. That would be about the best thing that can happen to her.
Yeah, if Pod could have a mirror and a bow for her, then she could mirror back out to Eastern and get those mitts.
Yeah. Even if she just gets a mirror, I think she would do Eastern afterwards. But well,
Does find a fire rod. That's a very useful item. Zeitnix might not get to Pod for a while for.
yeah, because Pod is definitely bowlocked with that fire rod in the first chest. If you don't find a small key, you're bowlocked.
I'm not sure Zeitnix gets there anytime soon, unless he gets both a bow and a mirror.
Yeah.
And not a whole lot in Hype Cave today.
Just lots of arrows.
And Taale releasing 2 fairies, preparing to do Death Warp in just a little bit. A good call. Nothing worse than trying to Death Warp and forgetting you have fairies.
Yeah, that's there's a nice clip from the German tournament where one of the runners forgot he had a fairy in Pod and death warped, and then forgot that he had a second fairy
Oh,
and
did they
tried to
release
death
the
warp.
first one?
No, he didn't release any of those fairies.
Oh no.
And he had about 10 hearts and blue mail or something, so death warping took its time, and he did it thrice. So
Oh
it was
no.
pretty fun.
That's terrible.
Yeah, because you would think after the first time you have a fairy, you would
You
check.
check.
You don't have a second fairy, but he didn't, and well, we had fun.
And nothing on the blacksmith but a rupee, 20 rupees. So right now we don't know where the next progression item is. We did see that fire rod. Fire rod doesn't really get us a whole lot new, but it does get us skull woods, and that is an item for sure.
Well,
And since we have items on the bosses here.
Well, Fire Rod would gives us some places in Ice Palace.
Oh yeah, we could actually well, Taale can't go into Ice Palace without the mitts.
Yeah, and
So
Zeitnix
between the
can't
two
go
of
there.
them,
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
Ice Palace access.
Yes.
Okay, now we're gonna get the Death Mountain checks from Zeitnix.
Yeah, still can't do the ether tablet because he has no hammer or mirror to get there. Although he has the book.
Yeah, if we find a hammer or mirror in the dark Death Mountain area, he could come back for it. Ideally, it would be a mirror because the hammer by itself would mean a save and a quit to get back up there, and then you'd be a whole lot of backtracking.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we've cleared out the keys, the front of pod, we get to go to the back and see what else we have. So far, I think we've only gotten that fire rod.
Yeah, there was nothing else but a Fire Rod, which is okay. But till now, both the Pendant Dungeon we dipped in had progression with Samaria and the Fire Rod. What could be in Desert? Because the book is on
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah. For Taale, we hope nothing. For Zeitnix, we hope there's something good there. Because ideally for Taale, she never goes into Thieves Town. Sorry, never goes to the back of Thieves Town. She has to get this Cane of Samaria out of the front.
Yeah.
Doesn't get that book, and that book doesn't lead to anything. Whereas Zeitnix having full cleared Thieves Town, best case for him is that book leads to something either in Desert or at one of the tablets.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Bombos deep in Pod.
Okay, so our Ice Palace access is locked by Pod. Zeitnix will not be able to do ice before going here.
Yeah. And well, we still don't know Mire and Turtle Rock medallions, so maybe one or both of those are also locked by Pod. And bow locked.
So it does mean if Bombos is used to open up either of those, you won't find. Well, you could still find a bow behind them because again, progressive bows, but at least one of the bows would have to come before it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
we
and
have
Taale
finished up.
realizing.
Yep, nothing more in Pod except on Helmasaur itself.
Yeah. So no mirror. Hoping she'll go there now, but now she goes Dark World and then we'll go Eastern Dark World. I think she'll about last locate Eastern Palace now.
Oh, absolutely. Meanwhile, Zeitnix is going to do those Dark Death Mountain checks. We're going to start with Super Bunny Cave here.
I think the boots might be here.
I think there's a good chance of that. We have a red item. Another red item.
Yeah, well, I got the
Just to
color
tease
right,
us.
yes. Well, yes.
We have all of Hookshot Cave still to go.
Yeah, and we can check the Turtle Rock medallion. And he'll do that. Nice.
Ether. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and Taale goes to catfish.
One more shot at it.
Oh, and catfish has the boots.
Oh, that's a big find for Taale.
Yeah, because, well, Zeitnix, he might not do that pretty soon.
Yeah, it might be. That's such an out of the way check, especially without a mirror to combine the flippers checks with that. Um,
If he gets a mirror, then he might do
then
that,
maybe,
but...
yeah.
And Zeitnix, I think, might think pod. Or flipper checks. Yeah, flipper checks is possible. That would often be a catfish for him.
Yep, that would make it even worse. And
Yeah.
the biggest thing that might get him back there is if he says, "Oh yeah, I know the boots are in Dark World, and that's the only thing I have left to check." As we, so at least we're gonna see it. I think we'll see a last location of that
Yeah.
from Zeitnix here.
Yeah, I think Taale's going to do Skull Woods now. She has a
Yep,
fire rod.
that makes
And
a lot of sense.
then she'll do Thieves Town. I think since she won't find any useful progression there, and if she finds nothing here in Skullwood, she'll do all of Thieves Town, I think.
Yeah, and we don't know whether that's good or bad because again, that book, we don't know if we need it yet.
Yeah.
I calmed a race during the tournament where the book was on Aga, and it came down to do you go get the book on Aga or do you go to Hammerless Ice Palace? And it
Yeah.
turned out the answer was Hammerless Ice Palace, but both runners did the Aga book play, and it kind of felt pretty bad for both of them. So yeah, that book is a weird one. It opens up just a few things, and those things might be what you need, or they might not.
Yeah, and the bad thing is you can't check without the book, so...
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really worse if book is maybe on pedestal and some useful progression is on one of the tablets. That's
You
about the worst case you can
yeah,
have.
you know that's Chet always wants to see that.
Yeah.
Because that means you have to blind pull ped, and then you get a book, and then it's like, oh, is that gonna give us anything? And you feel like it has to. You feel like you want it to because you went through the trouble of blind pulling ped.
Yeah. That's about even worse than mushroom or powder on pad,
For sure.
because you can, or at least you can know what's on pad. Yeah, Taale going back off Skullwoods first, because Ambrosia, we know that Moth has definitely an item, and clearing it from the back to the front is easier.
Yeah, I think I like this play in general. I mean, even without the Ambrosia setting, just if you get the item back here, you don't have to worry about. We do get a red mail, which turns her Shy Guy gray.
Yeah.
It's a nice item, not what she's looking for, but a little extra safety isn't bad.
Yes. Yeah, well, still in the normal game, Moth has a probability to have an item, because Moth is locked behind all 3 small keys we can find here. So Moth can't have those. So the probability of Moth having an item is higher than for every other place here.
In particular, if it is a crystal dungeon, you have to clear anyway. You might as well do what you have to do.
Yeah.
And then possibly be able to do fewer checks afterwards.
Well,
you see a big key there, so at least if the item's on the big chest, we don't have to worry about extra checks in the front area.
yeah.
Zeitnix is going to go ahead and clear the front of Skullwoods because he can't get to the back.
Yeah, and that red mail on the Moth was, well, time consuming for Taale because she couldn't do any death warp anymore. It wasn't feasible anymore. She just walked out of there.
Yeah, I think that's at that point she's got enough hearts that it's not really
Yeah.
doesn't
Death
save
warp
enough
with
time.
red mail and 7 or 8 hearts. No. It's faster to walk out.
The other item will be in the front area though, and this being Ambrosia, Zeitnix will be able to leave once he gets it.
Yeah, maybe he won't be able to get it because if it's in the big chest,
That's true.
he won't get it.
Oh, or
But
it'll
there.
just be 10 arrows, and he can.
Yeah,
Looks like I'm gonna guess he's just gonna get grabbed by one of the hands here.
maybe, but
Oh no, it looks like
we
forgetting the settings.
yep, we have seen that
It's
quite a lot this week.
not unusual, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, where does he head next? He's starting to run out of locations here in the Dark World,
Yeah, he'll check Bumper Cave now.
which I believe was a heart container, which they can't
Yeah.
get anyway. But good to know what's there.
Yeah, he wants to know if that's boots or not. And now, that if he goes west, that could be a catfish check.
Yeah, I'm not sure the only other thing I can think of that he has would be Spike Cave as far as Dark World checks.
Yeah, Spike Cave is without a hammer is not really possible.
Yeah, not doable. Same with Hammer
Yeah.
Pegs. There is the Purple Chest, which is a Dark World location.
Yeah, but Smith chain without a mirror is
No mirror, no flute,
yeah.
no boots. It's a terrible check.
Yeah, I think he'll go catfish now and then pod.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And that'll be good for him because he'll get his boots and then he'll at least get a fire rod out of pod. We'll see if he continues on and gets that bombos as well. But we don't know if we need the bombos, so.
Yeah, and then that will open some of ice for him. Maybe he'll go there.
Yeah, Ice Palace without a hammer is a really nasty check, but it might be what's left. We might not have much left beyond that.
Well,
Late
with
hammer seeds are weird.
yeah, well, with the book, there's always desert, but it's
There
a
is
pendant.
desert. Pendant desert. Ugh. And we already know that there's nothing on the ledge, so it's only 2 items that we could get in desert, and one
Yeah,
that's
but
on the boss.
well, it's full clearable.
It is full clearable. It would be nice if we could find out whether or not that book is leading us to anything. Taale just gonna go ahead and death warp out of Thieves Town.
Well, and I just remembered something. We got the boots, so Zeitnix and Taale could get their flute, and for
Oh,
Zeitnix,
yeah.
that would open up the Maya area.
I completely forgot about that flute. Not gonna lie.
And Maya is, we got the Zamaria, Maya is clearable.
Depending on what the medallion requirement is.
Yeah, alright, yeah. Zeitnix doesn't have any medallions, so he won't even get in, but yeah. But there's always Maya Shed, and how often have we seen the Maya medallion in Maya Shed?
It's not uncommon. You're right. We are going to get the pod check from Zeitnix. That'll be good for him. That'll get him at least his fire rod. So definitely he'll have Ice Palace access. We'll see if he does the same potion glitch, and assuming he does have that green potion that Taale has.
Yeah, and Taale did Death Warp in Thief Zone, so she just checked the first 4, got her Zamaria, and that was enough for her. She go South Loop now and do Stumpy and Hype Cave.
Yeah, not gonna find much there though.
Yeah, but it's kind of good that she won't find anything there because that will, yeah.
Might get her back to Eastern.
Yeah, limit her location.
Where she needs to go.
Yeah.
Okay, Zeitnix finds that fire rod, and let's see what. Nope, he's just gonna save and quit out of that. So
Yeah.
if that Bombos is required, that's gonna be really bad for him. If that Bombos is not required, that'll save him a ton of time.
Well, I think once he finds Bow, it would be okay.
Yeah, it's a pendant dungeon though. I don't know if he goes back. Depends on what other things he has to do.
Yeah, that's right though. Yeah. But he knows he has still 4 items left in pod.
Yep.
And well, I think if he'll find the bow and the hammer and then go to do Eastern, he'll depart at least a bit.
Okay, he's gonna get his flute though right away.
Yeah.
Which means we're probably gonna see a Meyer area check. Yeah, I see some questions in chat about the number next to the team names. That is the number of points they have for the season. They get 3 points for a win, no points for a loss, and on the rare occasion they have a tie, they would get 1 point each. And there has been at least one tie this season, so that can happen.
Yeah. Tie, I think both runners have to be within 2 seconds.
Yep, that is correct.
Always the most fun races if we get a tie.
Yeah, I got to count a tie in the group stage of the tournament. That was pretty wild.
Yeah.
Oh, and Taale finds a bow. That might get her over to Eastern at the Bonk Rocks.
Yeah.
That's really big. Oh, she hasn't checked the lumberjack yet, so she's gonna see that and see that it's nothing. Which is a shame because she actually could get the item.
Yeah, she'll blind check it. Just 20 rupees for her. She might go pick up a flute now before going anywhere else.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea. You need to pick that flute up at some point, so you might as well just get it, and then you can just flute over to Eastern Palace.
Yeah.
And Zeitnix gonna take that fire rod right back into Skull Woods and finish that off.
Yeah, he won't have to do that chest below the bridge because he knows he already got an item and now he remembered that it's Ambrosia and Moth will have the last item.
Yeah, and this is gonna be not gonna be a nice moment for Taale when she gets those mitts in Eastern, knowing at that point that she didn't have to do Aga.
Yeah, definitely not. She'll be kind of furious. Or well, at least she'll be annoyed. Well, for her, doing Aga 1 will have another thing because after Aga 1, the light world is swarming of red guards, and they make movement here a little bit harder because
and
those freaks are fast. But now Taale will get Titan's mitts, and that will, well, open up some things for her.
Okay, Zeitnix finishing up Skullwoods. Let's see where he goes next.
Well, he's walking out of here. Can't really think why, because...
Yeah, no mirror to get back to the light world, and there's not a whole lot of checks left that we haven't done in this area.
Yeah, I can't think of any right now.
I
Because he did the Dark Village, he did
yeah.
Thief's Town, Bumper Ledge he checked.
I guess it's just the purple chest.
That's
Maybe he's heading
possible.
towards that. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Still can't do hammer pegs.
Yeah, you're right. It's purple chest.
Okay. For this to be done quickly, he's going to want to save and quit anyway, and then he'll save and quit back to the light world, walk it over to the locksmith, and then
May
probably go to Meyer after that.
well, maybe desert.
Or, well, yeah, could be.
Yeah, and Taale finds her Tidesmiths. And we'll go straight through to the boss. Well, it could be very good for Taale if the Amos Knights have something important like the hammer or so, because that
Oh,
would
that would be
take
big.
Zeitnix some time to get back there.
He still hasn't done his boots checks in the Bach rocks.
Yeah. Well, he'll do that at some point of time, but he has some other checks left before that. Oh,
And
another
we see an
ether.
ether. Okay, so double ether. We don't have it yet, so that Bombos not going to be particularly useful for Tali. Maybe use a little bit in Ice Palace, but definitely not needed.
Yeah, but Taale will feel really behind now since
Oh, for sure.
she did Aga 1 unnecessary. So I don't know if she would use Bombos in Ice Palace because it takes some time.
Yeah, it's definitely slower. On Cold Stare itself, it can save you some magic. So you might use it there, but definitely not going to use it in the Freezer rooms.
Yeah, I think it depends on what... If she finds a Tempered Sword before Ice or in Ice,
Oh,
I
sure.
think then she won't use Bombos on
Or if
the...
half magic pops up.
Yeah, or something like that.
And we are going to get the desert check from Zeitnix.
Yeah. Since Maya Shed didn't really have something important. As we will see it Taale again.
So at this point, yeah, your choices at this point, I guess, are Pendant Desert or Hammerless Ice. Not nice choices.
Yeah.
Tali not having the option of going to Desert because she didn't get that book in the back of Thieves Town has a choice between Hammerless Ice and going into Thieves Town.
Yeah, well, Zeitnix would have at least Bonk Rocks, which
Yep.
would give him his bow and open up some parts of port for him.
Yeah, and Tali still has the Dark Death Mountain, which is where she's headed right now. We also have not seen King's Tomb because when Tali
Yeah,
did the Bonk Rocks, didn't have the mitts to pick up those rocks.
that's right.
So that could be
Oh,
an item as
Taale!
well. Oop. That was quite the leap.
At least she tried. But,
Yes.
well, we know by now that progression has to be here in Desert, in Ice, or in King's Tomb, I think.
Yeah, that's the only places I can think of right now. We don't have an invincibility item or a hammer for, we can't, yeah, everything else is pretty much blocked by the hammer. Can't go into TR, no hammer. Can't go into Swamp because there's no mirror.
Yeah, and no hammer. You can
Well,
check one chest in
you can
there.
get one chest with a mirror, but you can't
Yeah.
get any without the mirror. Can't do Spike Cave without a mirror. Without a hammer. Can't get to Ether Tablet without
Yeah,
a mirror or a hammer. Can't get to Bombos Tablet without a mirror.
yeah. Hammer and mirror are locking a lot of things right now.
beyond that, we still need an ether and we still need an ice rod. So we are still quite a ways away from go mode here.
Well, and ideally you want to have Tempered Sword and Silvers, but both runners can do Silverless Ganon with a Master Sword, but nobody wants to do that.
No, for sure.
Well, on Zeitnix, he'll pick up his second pendant in a minute. Well, but Desert was a bust. There was nothing
Nothing
there.
in desert, unless this turns out to be a ped seed that was not going to help us out at all. Book still could lead to something if we could just get to those tablets.
Yeah, but I think should be ice now.
I think that's all we got. Unless, well, he still has to do those boots checks. He needs to get over to Bonk Rocks for sure.
But I think those boot checks would lead him to port then. But he's going
no,
ice.
He did not clear the backup pod.
Yeah.
Taale did doing the potion glitch. He just did the Zeitnix got the fire rod and just left.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna see King's Tomb here.
Yeah, Taale remembered. Just
20. So now Taale has the I don't think Tali's done as much of the Smith chain. Still has that purple chest check. But eventually she's going to come down to either going back into Thieves Town or going into the Hammerless Ice Palace.
And she's going ice, and we know that should be the right decision, because there about has to be progression in ice now.
Yeah, unless we're forgetting something.
Well, Pat could have progression. No, we need the hammer for.
Yeah, Ped could have the ether, could have the ice rod,
The mirror.
Could have the mirror, but could not have the hammer. If I'm not, yeah, let me take a look. No, wait, no, can't have the hammer because Pod needs a hammer.
Yes.
And of course, the worst of those would be the ice rod or the ether tablet or the ether medallion.
Yeah, kind of. I think having a powder or something like that, or a shovel on Pet would be even worse. And that
because then it's a big it's a big unknown if it's one of those.
Yes. But I think that would favor Zeitnix, because he's already done 2 of the pendant dungeons, and he still has just 1 check made in port and has 4 items left there, so it would favor him a lot if it's a pet seed.
Also, doesn't hurt that he does have the book to check Pet if he wants to.
Yes, and for all those who don't know, the book was on blind, pendant blind. So, well, Taale, she'll hope she never get that as... well,
yeah, she hopes she doesn't need to do it.
yeah.
So far, we haven't gotten anything out of Ice Palace here.
Yeah, but we know something has to be in here. Ether would be quite annoying, because that opens up Mire. And
Ice Rodless Turtle Rock, which could get you all the way to the bottom without that ice rod.
Yeah, but we don't have a hammer to open up Turtle Rock, so...
So it could get a Mire and then into maybe the hammer could be in Misery
Yeah.
Mire. I'm telling you, late hammer seeds just mess with your head.
Yeah. What do we have here left here in ice? Is it iced tea we got left?
Yeah.
And Zeitnix is thinking.
I don't think he wants to use his key there. But I don't think he has a choice. If he goes this way, he's going to be back into this room, which you can't get out of. He has to use the key to get out.
Yeah.
Or you know, you don't. Yeah, saving and quitting, not really a great answer either. If you want to just go, you'd have to death warp. If you want to get to the front of the.
Yeah, well.
Taale, you're gonna come to the same conclusion here. But I'm just gonna use the key.
She just does it. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Ice Palace key logic or any logic in Ice Palace is nothing for me. Because I still get lost in Ice Palace. I absolutely have no clue how to do Ice Palace. And it's like a maze for me.
Okay, it's designed just Death Warp. Really wants to keep that key.
Yeah.
Yeah, already tried this. Still not gonna work. Okay, it's gonna save and quit out.
Yeah, he got
what exactly you're gonna do next here?
Boots checks. He
still hasn't a boots checks. Yeah, it's a good point.
And
there's the ether. There's that progression. So required double dip of Ice Palace.
Yeah, Commentary's curse. Yeah, and that's not very good for Zeitnix because he'll have to go. Well, he'll have to do a triple dip of Ice Palace.
Yeah, because he's got to go back and get that iced tea. Without the hammer, the best way to route that, because it is possible to get to that item and not have a key to get out, is to do the iced tea first. Do the iced tea first. Do those checks that you essentially the ones that are not locked by the hook shot. Do those checks first, and then go get that last spot.
Yeah, but kind of luckily for him, he seems to have forgotten the boots checks and goes straight back into ice.
You know, good news, bad news. There is a bow there that he needs.
Yes, but at the moment that bow would lead him astray because neither Pot nor the Armor's Knights have anything.
That's true.
It would be just a time sink right now, so this is kind of good for him.
We'll need to get that bow on the bonk routes at some point.
Unless he finds another bow somewhere else, but yeah.
Yeah, we could find that second bow somewhere deep in, say, Turtle Rock or in Mire.
Yeah.
So after all this gives Taale a bit of an advantage. I hesitate to say the word lead at this point. Until we find that hammer.
Well, you could actually speak of a lead because she has done Eastern. She has found her bow.
Yep.
And Zeitnix had done Desert and Back of Thiefstone, which brought him just the book, which maybe leads to nothing. So you could actually speak of a lead, and unless the book has something.
Yep.
Or a pad. Well, Zeitnix, I don't know if you should have done the bomb jump here because...
Yeah. I find the bomb jump not really worth it if you're not going to Cold Stare. And if you don't have the hammer, there's a good chance you're not going to Cold Stare.
And he just has iced tea left, so why bothering with bomb jump there? Even I know that. And I know nothing about Ice Palace. Well, I know that if Colster has a small key, then it's Somalia locked and so on, but otherwise...
So to talk about Ice Palace logic a little bit, as Taale's looking through Misery Mire, we're seeing the same checks from Zeitnix. The big thing is the hookshot logic that often comes up, and Taale finding the big key looks like is going to go ahead and continue checking for the first item. Meyer is I think one of the weaker dungeons for Ambrosia, just because that first item can be in so many different places, so many small keys. But we know the last item, of course, will be on Vidi. But to get back to the hookshot logic, as we've said before, the dungeons assume you're going to use the small keys in the worst possible way. There are 2 locked doors behind the big key door in Ice Palace. So if the big key is available, then if you don't have a hook shot, then you're not going to have enough. You're going to have not enough keys for too many doors, and the possibility of doing it the wrong way will be there. So you need to have in the very first chest, the freezer room, and the iced tea room. You need to not see a big key there, and thus keeping those doors not available. But you also need to have 1 small key available.
Well,
Yeah, it's a lot.
yeah,
And it took me a while to figure it out, but those 2 locked doors behind the big key are no pun intended the key, and that's what's important.
yeah. Okay.
It's very
Oh,
easy to forget that those are there because we use the Ice Palace bomb jump and NMG. We use it in pretty much every category,
yeah.
except for the ones now that are allowing the new icebreaker glitch. Um, so you just don't ever see those. Okay, Zeitnix gets his bow.
Yeah, and Taale gets her tempered sword.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So there's probably something on Vidi, something good.
Yeah, I think there has to be progression on Witty.
I think so.
And this bow will lead Zeitnix astray, I believe, because he'll do Port and Eastern now.
For sure you do Eastern. You have to do it
No,
anyway, but we'll see. Oh, no, gotta go to Meyer.
he
Okay.
does Meyer. Wow.
Well, he's gonna like that call.
Well, in his position, you got 4-item Port and you got 2-item Meyer.
Oof.
The logic thing for him would be to do Port. And I think he'll
And he just
change his
save and
mind
quit.
now.
That's a tough one.
He'll do Eastern now, I think. Or Port? One of both, I think.
Yeah, it's harder to combo them without a mirror.
Yeah. But
And
he'll do, yeah.
I bet we got to see either a mirror or a hammer here.
Yeah. It has to be. Well, maybe shovel or powder or something.
Yeah, or
but,
something that leads to those. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But either mirror or hammer it has to be. And Zeitnix will lose a lot of time here. Well, not in Eastern because he has to do that anyway, but in Port he'll lose a lot of time.
Well, he may be doing the let's do Eastern first. I have to do it anyway. And then he'll make a decision after that. He's not going to get anything out of the Eastern play, though. So, yeah, it might lead him right back over to
still,
instead of Meyer.
Still, it is 4 items in Port, 2 items in Meyer. So, still, Port is more attractive for him right now. Even he knows he can finish Meyer and he can't finish Port, but Port is a pendant, so you don't necessarily have to finish it.
Yeah, I think the fact that you can't finish Pod is like you say, pretty irrelevant. But the relevance of potentially doing Meyer first, of course, is that Taale does not have a fairy because she had to release them to do death warps. Oh, that
my
hurts.
god.
But the merit of doing Meyer is that it's a crystal dungeon. You have to do it anyway. I'm always for clearing crystal dungeons that you can full clear.
Yeah, and actually, since Helmer has a guaranteed item, we can't go to him without the hammer. Port is actually just 3 items he can get, so it's 2 versus 3 items.
Of course, with as many as we're missing, if he thinks to his mind, that hammer could still be in Pod, and thus allow him to do the full clear.
Yeah, and for him,
it's a 3 or 4 items depending on where the hammer is.
Yeah, and he knows that a hammer in Port would be absolute chore, so he might think that if it's there, Taale would never have gotten it till now. So, well, we'll see what he'll do after Easter.
Okay, gets this container heart.
Yeah, picks puts on the flute, but that doesn't mean anything because to go to pot you would mirror flute to 5.
Yes.
We'll see. 5 or 6. Where to flute to?
Oh, good. Going to 6.
Yeah, good for him.
Okay, Taale about to go into round 2 of the Vidi fight. And to be fair, this is you don't have any of the safeties. This is essentially an NMG fight with this setup with the tempered sword. No cape for the extra safety. No silver arrows.
And she decides to do damage boost threat here. Oh, has to be careful now. Just 4 hearts left and just 2 now. So, wow. Now, Taale, you don't have a potion.
Yeah, you didn't have a potion before. You're certainly not going to have one now.
Yeah, she picked up a green potion, but she used that for the potion glitch in pot, so...
And with this loadout, a green potion doesn't help her at all,
Yeah.
considering does not have either cape or blue cane to use it with.
And
Which I wonder where those items are even.
Those lightnings from Vidi are pretty, well, dangerous because they can strike anywhere, but now she did it. Oh, and there's a mirror.
It's a mirror. Okay, so we now have Swamp Palace open to us.
Well, first chest, at
First
least.
chest. We have Graveyard Ledge. We have... Actually, you know what? You go to Hera first. I think that's got to be the answer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it may not be the answer, but it's got to be the call.
Yeah, she can't do either tablet because she doesn't have a book. Maybe Cave 45.
Yeah, you also have K45, and which is not too far out of the way. You have the Graveyard Ledge, which no one wants to do.
Yeah.
But I think you do Hera first.
And she does.
I might have picked up a potion with the plan of checking Spike. Like, you still can't check Spike. There's still no hammer. Never mind.
Yes.
I might still have picked up a potion just for that contingency in case you do get a hammer. Because we still need an ice rod.
Oh, yes.
Which, of course, if the seed really wants to be trolly, it'll be on Laser Bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and chat mentioning checkerboard. That might have been a good place to go first. We did not see it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And I completely forgot it, so I can't really blame Taale for completely forgetting about it either.
Well, with boots, checkerboard is a pretty quick check.
Yeah, you get the she'll be able to get back there pretty quickly, but it might have been nice to just do it while you were there.
Yeah, and the basement of Hera is
not
in play.
A good sign. That's not a good. I never want to see that smoky.
Yeah, but I think she'll do the Hera pot, but because, well, I don't know if she knows.
But that's dangerous. That's a dangerous play because that second item could be in the big chest.
Well, now you know that the big key is to be in the basement, you go up and hope. You go up and hope. You basically have a 50-50% chance now, the item being in the big chest or in the other chest. So you go up and hope, because the second item is on Trolldom, so.
Yeah, she's gonna have to get this pretty soon to truly save time. This is definitely not saving time over just walking up. But of course, the fact that she'd have to go through the whole cutscene of the tile room still can save time out of this if she gets it pretty soon.
Now she.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing I'm talking about. The other item is going to be in that big chest.
Yeah. But I think Zeitnix, he should make the same play.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
And we might even see Taale killing Muldom and then leaving.
Yeah, we do have... Yeah, I mean, your other checks are Graveyard Ledge and K45, really far apart.
Yeah.
Might, if it's not there and you have to come back up here to get the big key, I don't know. That's a tough ask either way.
Yeah. We
And Taale
shouldn't
still has thieves. Yes.
Yeah, we shouldn't forget that Taale still have Thieves Town left. At least the back of Thieves Town.
Yep.
And, well,
Okay, it's gonna go back in.
yeah. And that could be a really big advantage for Zeitnix now, because he'll be able to check the Ether tablet up here.
Yep.
And he'll have at least also Bombo's tablet
Yep.
to mirror locked locations that Taale has no access to because
Yep.
of the missing book.
Yeah, and in fact, it makes that that Bombos location being fairly close to K45 makes both of those a little more appealing
Yeah,
to do at the same time, and maybe do that before he goes up to Hera.
yeah,
Graveyard Ledge still out of is the middle,
and
go
he
there
can
out of a boss
combine.
location.
He could even combine that with a first chest and swamp. Because we all love to see the hammer there, no? Don't we?
I'm sure chat would get excited over that one.
Alright, Zeitnix comes to Vitreous, just 2.5 hearts. And deciding to do some damage boost strats.
He might still have a fairy. I don't recall if he dropped those at any point.
Yeah, I think he might have, yes.
Yeah, he does.
At least one.
So he's fine.
But he should be fine now because he has 8 arrows left, and that should make short time of Vitreous, so he'll get his mirror now. Well, what do we have in Hera Big Chest? Just 100 rupees.
Okay, well. So we have... On Taale's side, we have a couple mirror checks, and then we have some book checks that Zeitnix can do as well.
Yeah, I think she'll go to the village now. Then go to Dark World, maybe do Bumper Ledge first, Graveyard Ledge first, but then go south, do the rest.
Yeah, we still have this one little portal for most of our Dark World access. So which one do you do for... Oh, and we're gonna get the Zeitnix gonna remember to go ahead and go straight into checkerboard. So we get to see what that is now. Oh, that hurts. Because Taale could have gone straight there and gotten that hammer, and unfortunately just didn't think to go there.
And I think now she'll do Thief's Town before she goes there.
Hopefully she remembers that spot and checks it first.
Yeah, I think she's forgotten it. I think so.
And Zeitnix says, I got a hammer, I can now full clear Ice Palace. Yeah. I do believe we saw 2 items already, so he can just go straight to Cold Stare. Oh, a shovel. Oh.
Wow.
Well, maybe that's an ice rod. Maybe that'll turn into an ice rod. That'd be really good for Taale right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and Taale's going to go back to the village now, and then maybe even go to Thief's Town right now.
Okay, let's see.
No Thief's Town for her, okay. At least not now.
At this point, that Thieves Town play is only going to be necessary if the ice rod is on one of those tablets. Oh,
Yeah.
she hasn't done any of the smith chain.
Yeah, but that's okay. Okay, with mirror, that
Yeah, it's a
kinda,
lot quicker.
yeah. And she can walk down and check cave 45 on the way.
Yep.
Yeah, I think definitely Taale is planning on doing purple chest.
Mm-hmm.
Then at least, but before that, K45, purple chest, and then shield dipped swamp. That's for her 3 things in progression now. And
It's
then
gonna have to walk slowly with this purple chest because as long as you're doing some mirrors, you can't leave it behind. We
yeah,
do have the trick of leaving it behind and mirroring in front of the locksmith, but if you've already mirrored out and left it behind, it's not gonna work. And she wants to check K45 here.
yeah, but she will be able to leave it behind
After
here
this, yep.
after this.
Or she could just choose to flute. I actually am not sure which is faster. Turns down the container heart there.
Oh, and fluting here might.
Yeah, I
mean that-
don't know if this is faster or not. I really don't. I'm sure somebody
Yeah,
better than me at this game has timed it by now, but I don't know.
but it could be really good for her because that means she can't dip swamp. She isn't in a dark world with Thief's Town. She
Yep.
might go to Checkerboard Cave from here.
Maybe.
That would be
Yeah,
really good for her.
She needs to go to Checkerboard Cave.
Oh no.
Well,
Oh.
she'd have to flute anyway. Flute's a
Yes,
6.
she's
Okay,
doomed.
she's going to Checkerboard. She's gonna get her hammer. No, she's not. What? No. What do you? You haven't you already seen that item? And
Yeah,
you can't get it anyway. Okay.
but
Okay. She's
no,
back to 6.
Okay.
Meantime, we have a Cold Stare fight on Zeitnix's side. We'll see what Cold Stare has for us today. Just a piece of heart. So we're still going to be looking for that ice rod.
Yeah.
Probably, I could see Zeitnix probably going to do Swamp Palace next. Kind of pseudo go mode it in the sense of not check the left side until afterwards. Probably is gonna full clear it unless the ice rod shows up early though.
Yeah. And after that, well,
Then it's he could go back to pod for it, or he could just bet on Turtle
Nah.
Rock.
I think he'll do Hera first, obviously,
Yeah.
but then I think he'll gamble on Turtle Rock, because
Yeah, I
how
think that
often
seems
have we seen the ice on Turtle Rock?
It's not uncommon.
Yeah.
Could be anywhere but on Trinex itself. So
Yeah. Oh well, Pyramid Fairy, yes.
oh yeah, that's another spot. Ice rod, you know, it's easier to list where ice rod can't be. It can't be on Trinex, and as long as TR is a crystal, it can't be in GT. That's it.
Yeah, can be everywhere else. And for Taala's sake, we should hope that it's not on any location that is locked by the book, because that would be bad for her.
Yep.
And well, for her, we also shouldn't hope that it's on pad, because Zeitnix already has 2 of the
Yes.
pendants.
Yeah, I kind of this seed has been really interesting with the late hammer and all that stuff. I feel bad that it's gonna come down to an ice rod hunt.
Yeah.
Like those are the worst. It just, you know, so many places to look, and there's just nothing to guide you to the right location.
Yeah.
And it's entirely possible that Zeitnix might end up in pod looking for that ice rod, and Taale might end up in Thieves Town looking for that ice rod at the same time.
Yeah. Well, now our runners are about the same. Taale has the advantage of already having done Hera. Zeitnix has done Ice, but Taale will have about, at least I think she'll have a go mode Ice, and Hera is not too slow. So and it's already on the mountain if you're one
Yeah,
rock.
a lot.
So
So the ice Taale will have the same ice palace that Zeitnix just did, since they already found the 2 items. So it's
yeah,
a go mode no matter what. But Zeitnix, it depends on when he does Hera. If he could gamble on Turtle Rock first and try for that Hera into GT play that everybody always wants to see but never actually gets.
yeah,
He
but I
ca-
think
we know the ice rod's not going to be in Hera, so he could do that. I can't see him doing that, but I mean he certainly could.
yeah, but you lose so much time if you do Turtle Rock first and then the Ice Rod is in Hera.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's
I can't see that gamble,
yeah,
but
can't see that too. Well, I also can see Taale going to Desert View because she has a mirror.
that's right. So deserts open to Taale without the book.
Yeah,
So deserts, yeah, that's right. Zeitnix already cleared desert. We know nothing's there. So just so many choices, and none of them really good. Best case scenario for the runners is that the ice rod is just going to be on path here in Swamp Palace, but so far we haven't seen it.
yeah. Taale going back to check the big chest in Swamp.
Yeah, and gets the unfortunate stair glitch that means you get forced right back down. It's actually I actually don't know how you avoid that, but there are ways to avoid that.
Yeah. And Zeitnix doing left side, Taale skipping left side for now. But we found compass and map, so there are 2 items on the left side.
Yeah, I like the do left side after you do Argus. I would have
Yeah,
liked it better if she had also chosen to wait on the big chest as well.
yeah,
Because if you're gonna go back in anyway, you might as well get the big chest while you're doing that.
yeah. She hoped she hadn't found the map. She hoped that there was only 1 item on the left side. I think then she would have skipped it.
Yep.
But now I can't see her skip it with
Yep.
2 items on the left side.
There are 2
Although,
items and they're 2 crap items, so they're not gonna
yeah,
help us. It's both runners are gonna waste their time doing that.
well, unless Taale finds her ice rod now
Yeah,
here
that's
on.
right. That's
But
it could happen.
yeah,
That'd be best case for both runners really at this point. After this, it's gonna be okay. Where do we check next?
it would be very interesting to see if Zeitnix now skips the big chest. Because he'll have about a 50-50 chance of being the map in there, because he won't have done the waterfall chest.
Yeah.
And will know that there's 2 items left, and one of them is here on Argus, so he might skip the big chest and hope that the item is in Waterfall Cave.
Oh, just bombs.
Yeah, so
All right,
Taale.
it's ice rod hunt time.
Yeah, I think Taale will go and do ice now.
Yeah.
But then maybe gamble Turtle Rock.
There's just no good choices here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Turtle Rock is like. I guess you gotta think to yourself, what would be worse? Going to Turtle Rock now and not finding the ice rod and having to look everywhere else, or going everywhere else first and then finding the ice rod on Turtle Rock? I don't know the answer to that, to be honest. So it's kind of a runner's preference at this point.
Yeah. Chat mentioning Taale is going to do Red Bomb first.
Yeah, that'd be a good choice. And we do have that shovel. Did we see the shovel yet?
No, we didn't. And Zeitnix skipped the big chest in Swamp too, so that's some
That's
time
good
he
for
will
him.
make up. And I remember Taale going into Swamp about 5 to 10 seconds earlier than Zeitnix, and I think Zeitnix will be out of here earlier, so
Yeah, I think that
checking
big
left
chest
side
check.
first. Well, maybe checking left side Swamp first was faster.
Yeah,
In this case.
if you're gonna full clear, it is a little faster to do the left side first. You don't have to go, go through the entry and all that good stuff again. But it also didn't help that Taale went back for the big chest.
Yeah. Yeah, for Zeitnix, next play is definitely Hera and probably Turtle Rock. For Taale, well, it would be a very okay play to go to Turtle Rock, but it's not the only option she has.
Yeah, I think Zeitnix might check that Bombos tablet first, though.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. Yeah.
Right there.
And I think he'll also do Red Bomb.
Okay, we're gonna finally start seeing. We might finally find out whether that book in that Thieves Town check was required.
Well, if it was, that race is over.
For sure. Well,
Not
so
here.
far, no.
Well, and Taale will have an advantage here because she can check the shovel, and then she'll have an advantage at the red bomb with her having done Aga 1. It's faster to mirror and check red bomb that way.
Oh, that's true. It saves a little bit of time that way. So, well, at least a little bit of good coming out of that Aga play. And just a piece of heart there. Zeitnix finding his heart container over there on K45. See where he goes next. Okay, Tao's gonna just go ahead and do Ice Palace now. This won't take long.
Was Ice the second red crystal?
It looks like it's Swamp Palace and Skullwoods.
Oh, okay,
They
yeah,
should be able to
I
do it
see
right
it
now.
now. Yeah. But because Taale just didn't do the red bomb, and neither did Zeitnix.
Little more surprised that Zeitnix didn't do it yet. Taale's having, can just full clear ice and then just save and quit over to Link's house and go do it from there, or just flute to Link's house.
Yeah, but Taale
Zeitnix, on the other hand, is on the mountain, a lot further from that red bomb, so from that big bomb.
Yeah, but both had their Dark World portal at K45
I know.
or at near Stumpy, so that would have been for both a very short way to go over there. So it's very
Okay, well, that's half
surprising.
magic. It's a really nice item for Zeitnix, but Thieves Town, not required, because
Yeah,
that is not a required item.
unless we got Pet.
Yeah, well, yeah, there is the pet possibility still.
Yeah.
And we might see Zeitnix even check the pedestal with that book. In fact, if he's thinking of going into pod at all, I would definitely go ahead and check the pedestal, so that I know whether I would need to kill Helmosaur.
Yeah.
We know there's an item there, but my thought process would be, well, if I find the ice rod before, then I'm done. But there might be other places to go anyway.
For Zeitnix, for him, there are 3 items on Helma.
Yeah.
Because Helma is green pendant, Helma himself has an item,
right.
and Helma would open Pet for him. So
That
don't
is a
know.
lot. So maybe not checking. Maybe
Yeah.
just don't check.
Maybe just don't check and hope it's there or it's on green pendant. And
Yeah, I mean, the thing I was talking about is really applies more to the non-ambrosia seeds, because if you find all the items and then just have the boss left, you kind of get an idea whether you might want to kill that boss or not.
yeah.
Kind of the downside of the boss always having an item. Oh, did Taale not count the items? Oof. I'm pretty certain they found 2 items before they came into Ice Palace the first time, both runners. So Taale's doing these checks. Either didn't count the items properly, because I thought there was a heart container and then that ether medallion. Oh,
No.
okay. So the other item, the other item was there, because I guess they didn't get that heart container, so it was something else.
Yeah.
So I don't believe Zeitnix checked that item, so he's left an item behind in Ice Palace.
I'm wondering right now, did Zeitnix get all 4 items out of Thieves Town, or does the big chest have one?
Ooh, that's actually a really good question.
I absolutely don't remember that. I know
Yeah,
there were 2.
There were 2 in the front.
Yeah,
2 in
and
the
one
front.
one on blind, but the last item, I don't know. And I know he got the small key.
Yeah.
I think I've
Yeah, I'm
seen the
pretty certain.
small
I think
key
it was.
in Thieves Town. So
Yeah, I thought it was a big key, small key front.
yeah,
Hmm. That's an interesting side note.
yes,
Oh, Stigmas, I know. Okay, our tracker I bought is correcting me. Small key was not in the front,
okay, well,
and GFE
okay,
telling us that he had no small keys in the blind fight. So if that's the case, then the small key would be in the big chest, and it's not an issue.
okay. So no worries for him there, because that could have been an advantage to Taale, but seems not.
Okay, Zeitnix finishing up Tower of Hera. Wow, Taale's gonna go ahead and finish up Cold Stare.
Yeah,
And let's see
yeah, I
what
think,
Zeitnix does next.
yeah,
Looks like headed over to Turtle Rock.
yeah. I think if Taale doesn't do Red Bomb, she'll do the same.
Yeah, I think so.
Which would actually mean a small advantage for Zeitnix, about 1 to 1.5 minutes, because of him being already on the mountain.
Yeah, Zeitnix definitely has a lead if the ice rod turns out to be here in Turtle Rock. But if it's anywhere else, then if it's anywhere else, then who knows? Because Tyler's gonna follow him into Turtle Rock. It looks like.
Yeah. And the probability of Isot being here is pretty high.
Now, at this point, there are going to be 5 locations, if you include Mimic Cave, where we could find the ice rod on the way down to Trinex. As opposed to, let's see, what do we have left? We have Ped, obviously.
Yes.
We have Helmasaur in Pod, and the
With
Green Pendant.
yeah, Green Pendant.
And I'm running out of checks.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm running out.
We've seen Desert. We've seen Thieves Town.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
So that honestly,
Spike Cave.
Spike Cave. So I knew there was something I was forgetting. That still gives advantage Zeitnix because he's cleared more of those pendant dungeons,
Yeah.
and neither one of them is cleared Pod. Taale having cleared it, but not done Helmasaur yet.
Yeah.
I don't mention the magic bat because we don't have powder, and the
Yes.
mushroom was expended long time ago, so fake powder is not an option.
Yes, both wanted to have the lamp, so
Yeah, I could see skipping the lamp if you already have Fire Rod. They did not have Fire Rod at the time, so skipping a lamp was not an option.
yeah.
And Spike Cave technically is out of logic. Bottles do not put it in logic, but at this point, you might check it anyway if you have the bottles to survive it.
Yeah, but both don't have any potions.
At the moment, Zeitnix might still have some fairies. Taale
No.
definitely does not have the.
Yeah, well, okay. Zeitnix has one fairy. He didn't use it. Taale released both her fairies.
Yeah, I believe it's 14 or 15 hearts to be able to just survive it straight up, but that doesn't actually put it in logic. But really, at this point, with so few locations, I mean, if your choice is possibly get a cape or a blue cane on pedestal and then come back and do Spike Cave, or just do Spike Cave with bottles, you might just do Spike Cave with bottles.
Yeah. Well, if Ice Rod is not here in Turtle Rock, where do our runners go next? I think Zeitnix would definitely go Pod.
Yeah.
Because he still has 4 items there, plus the green pendant, plus it would open pet for him.
Mm-hmm.
And Taale, where would she go? Desert? Thieves Town?
Yeah, there's really, I mean, you'd have to do Desert or Thieves. The real issue for Taale is because she's killed Aga And Zeitnix has not. There are ways that Zeitnix can do pod and still preserve his mirror portal off of Laser Bridge. There's really nothing Taale can do to do that because she doesn't have entrance. She'd have to do only Light World stuff to be able to preserve a mirror portal. And there's just not Light World stuff left to do.
Yeah, for her, just desert, but she doesn't have the book, so,
No
so
book?
she has to go to the Dark World to get access to desert.
Yep, I do think there is one other check. I don't believe either one of them ever did hammer peg, so that might become a thing too.
Yes, hammer packs. Yes, that's a thing.
Okay, Zeitnix being go mode -1 is going to check the big chest first, and then probably leave. Yeah, and then go ahead and do Mimic Cave. This saves a little bit of time if the item turns out to be in the big chest.
Yeah, it does.
If not, you only lose a little bit of time.
Yeah, but not too much. It's worth it.
Yeah, at go mode -1 is I think it's worth it.
Oh, just a butter sword.
Gold sword is nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of butter never hurt.
Especially if you have to do a silverless cannon.
Yeah, it's true. We haven't seen those silver arrows yet. Of course, those could be in Ganon's tower.
Yeah. Well, we're closing in on Laser Bridge, so...
Yeah, and this, honestly, it's definitely the most likely location when you're looking for an item.
Yeah.
Oh. Misfire on that boomerang. And Laser Bridge would have been skippable if they'd had an ice rod, because that's the second key there.
Yeah.
But we're not going to skip it here.
Well, that means at least 2 items on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember if we picked up map or compass.
Yeah.
So. Oh, chat saying we have seen the map on the fire-locked side. So that's at least 3 items
3
here.
items here.
Powder.
There's that powder. Oh, God. Which is a really nice luxury item, but they opened up another check.
Yeah, but at this point it's also a fetch quest.
Yep.
But it's combinable with hammer packs, so it's not too bad.
Especially for Zeitnix, because if he...
He's
got a ferry, he's
careful
fine.
now.
Yeah, he's got to be careful, but he does have a ferry. It's not the worst thing. He could open that door to... Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
I would open that door now.
Yeah.
Oh, and there it is! Oh my God. And Taale's gonna be right behind. So this could come down to a big key location in Ganon's tower.
Yeah. And something like I've seen runners make up about 30 seconds or 60 seconds in the gauntlet, so it could all be. Yeah, Taale will have her go mode about 40 seconds after Zeitnix.
Yep. And yeah, be ready for that queue, chat, because we're gonna get to that guessing game pretty darn quick, and you're not gonna have a whole lot of time because Zeitnix is gonna be able to head straight over there. Taale is gonna take the safety door.
Yeah, she just had 2 hearts left. Has 2 hearts left, so.
And does not have a ferry.
Yeah, and she just needs it. And there the start signal has come. And
Chat was ready for it.
Yeah.
All those numbers! Oh no, what are we doing?
Yeah, Yeah, meanwhile, Taale has her go mode 1 minute and 20 seconds after Zeitnix. So, gonna be close.
And we will be going on Zeitnix count, regardless
Yes.
of whether Taale gets the big key first or not.
Would be very interesting if Taale finds the silvers and Zeitnix doesn't, but the time advantage is about 1 minute when they go to Ganon, so that would be very close then.
Okay, here we go. 22 locations for that big key. Let's see where it is. Zeitnix heads to the right first. Finds a cape. That's a nice luxury item. And some
yes.
arrows. Can't continue on right because no small key. So it's gonna head back up. Just a small key on the torch for number 3.
Yeah, now the Starfus room.
Small key for number 4. Rupees for number 5. Bombs for number 6. A small key for number 7. And it looks like he is going to continue on and said some runners will do kind of a pseudo dark magician to go ahead and go back to the right.
Yeah.
I think that might be the pink magician. I'm actually not sure.
I don't know.
Taale is going to go ahead and enter GT. So 8, just some arrows. Also going to go to the right first.
Yeah. Taale will do pretty much the same route.
Which is not good for Taale.
Yeah. She might do right side after the Starfus room, but I don't think so.
9 is rupees.
And now we'll see the rando room.
And 10. It's 10.
That is.
And there's that blue cane. So all the protection items right here in GT. Still no silvers.
Yep.
At this point, there's not a whole lot of places left. And, well, I should have known. The big key was number 10, so of course Rave is 10. Winner of the Ganon Tower Big Key guessing game. That's the second time I've had him win out of 10.
Why do we even play this game?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. At least Taale is going the same way, so she won't lose much time. But neither will she gain any time.
Yep.
So it's all about the climb now.
It's all about execution at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, Taale about to grab that big key. And does just mirror on out.
Yeah, saves at least 4 seconds here.
Yeah. Yeah, Zeitnix having checked the rest of those chests. Probably hoping for those silver arrows.
Yeah. He has one small key more than Taale, but I don't think that matters right now.
Nah, not at
Because
all.
you just
only
need
need
2
2.
upstairs, so
Really, you need 1 because the mini Helmosaur will drop 1, but, you know,
yeah,
saves
but
time if you have 2.
yeah. Well, I wonder if we'll get some chests checked up there. I think the Muldum chest and the chest before Muldum will be definitely checked because they're quick checks. But the 2 chests in the Helmosaur room, I don't know. The mini Helmer room.
Depends on how bad the runners want silvers, I guess.
Yeah.
In Taale's case, she doesn't know that she can't find half magic. That'd also be a useful item to find.
Yeah, but we have to remember Taale did Aga and since
Yeah,
then she'll
she's
feel
more likely to
behind.
feel even more behind. Yeah, like
Yeah.
she might be thinking how it has not finished yet.
Yeah. Well, we know that Taale has the advantage of never having gone to desert and not having done the Bag of Thieves Town.
Yep.
But Zeitnix has the advantage of almost not having done Port. He just took his fire rod from the first chest, so yeah.
And not having done Aga.
Yeah. It always amazes me that after about 2 hours of racing, it comes down to less than a minute probably in between those runners.
Yeah, and we did see quite a bit of different routing here to get to the same place,
Yes.
pretty much.
Yes.
And just a heart container in that last chest. So unless Taale decides to check the 2 chests in the Helmosaur room, we'll never know for sure where in GT they are if they do turn out to be here.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the basement, I guess, but could be in those 2 chests.
Yeah, might be. Now, some 1 hit for Zeitnix. That was a double.
That looked like a double, yeah.
It,
Yeah, if those balls hit at the same time, then it negates the hit.
yeah, but it sounded like a double.
That second one was definitely a double, but yeah, the first one.
First one was a single.
Oh, just missed.
Yeah. And that was just a single as well. So one more hit, I think. Yeah, there he got it. Well, and now it's just the big pig left.
Okay, and very quick first 2 rounds with Butter Sword, I'm sure.
Yeah. Shouldn't be a problem.
The best runners, the difference between buttered and tempered, not much of one, but you still have to work a little harder with the tempered sword.
Yeah.
Zeitnix pulling out that lamp, getting ready for that torch glitch.
And there was 4th hit in phase 3, so
And they
we go
were
to phase
in,
4.
and the silvers were in Ganon's tower.
Yeah.
So no, we did not find him in your tower.
Could be right side, could be behind ice armors, even on the tower climb. We will never know.
Ooh, that fire bat came way too close for comfort there.
Yeah. But not many more hits required now for Zeitnix.
12 total. So he was getting really close here.
Shouldn't be more than 1 or 2 left. And there it is.
There it is.
Alright, once he crosses this little bridge, get your GGs and set for Zeitnix.
Finishing up with an official SRL time of 1:59:06. GG's to Zeitnix. Taale also getting the news that the Silver Arrows were in Ganon's Tower, and as someone in chat said, there weren't very many other places left.
Yes, that's essentially right. Yeah, Taale already having entered phase 4 of the Ganon fight, so she'll be finished soon.
Ooh.
Yeah, Taale has a slight disadvantage in not having half magic, but it should be okay.
Yeah, using the lamp, you can do decently well with the fire rod if you can get 3 spins at a time, but it's probably a little bit more efficient if you can't get those 3 spins. Maybe just safer in general to use the lamp.
Yeah, but there, Taale is also done.
Yeah, finishing up with an official SRL time of 2 hours 28 seconds. And GG's to Taale.
Yeah. And then we'll see if we can get both our runners in for an interview.
And Zeitnix joining us now. Once he unmutes his mic, but GG's.
Yeah, GG's.
Okay, well, as we wait, Zeitnix looks like maybe he's sorting out some mic issues.
Yeah,
Now,
we'll see.
join us as soon as he gets that figured out.
Hey there, sorry about that.
No problem. GG's.
Thank you.
GG's.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you watch this back, you'll hear me at some point saying, just such a shame because it came down to the ice rod hunt after all the other stuff that this seed put you through.
Wow, yeah. And I just, I seriously considered running around and checking for the ice rod before going into TR. So I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, it's always a tough decision. You did have a bit of an advantage since, unfortunately, Taale fell for the Agabate, did not go into Eastern, did not get the mitts. Still ended up super close, though.
Ouch.
But wouldn't have been able to save a mirror portal. You would have had the advantage of being able to do that.
Yeah, I felt like I wasted a bit of time in desert, and then I don't even know what was happening with Ice Palace. I'm gonna have to go back and rethink that one through.
Yeah, it looked like you were just really wanting to save that key that first time in instead of just going through the door but I mean, without because that one room, it's easy to forget that if you don't have a hammer, you can't go up.
Right. I was just like, I don't know
down.
what happened. I just lost it there. But you know, it happens sometimes in the heat of the race. So, and then I wasted a bunch of time in desert. I'm a little disappointed in myself for getting the hook shot on Death Mountain with the mitts even, and not going right to East Death Mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, we were wondering about that at the time. I'd forgotten about it at this point.
It's just a brain fart, and I kept thinking of, after I figured out that I did that, that was something I was thinking about the whole time. I'm like, oh great, there's something there.
But yeah, and that Thieves Town play, getting the book, and then eventually it led to nothing. It's so weird because like the entire time we're like, well, Taale we still don't know whether Thieves Town was required.
Yeah.
I gambled on going back to the back of Thieves Town. It came up with the book, which is not the best thing to see, and then I decided that's why I went into desert. You know, I'm like, I'm just gonna follow this, but nothing.
Well, at least you had the god pot, so to say, just grabbing that fire rod and noping out of that.
I was super happy with that. I was very happy with that.
Yeah, that was the other big difference. So when Taale went into the Dark World, of course, having killed Aga, did do bottle glitch and basically full cleared pot, except of course Helmasaur, no hammer or bow at the time.
Yeah. But there was just a bomb boss in there.
Which eventually ended up to lead to nothing because you had your fire rod and we had ether for both our medallion dungeons.
Yeah, good. I'm glad I didn't go back.
But yeah, it was getting to the point where, okay, if they don't find anything in TR, well, I guess Zeitnix gonna head over to Pod and Taale gonna head over to Thieves Town or Desert. There wasn't a whole lot left at that point.
It's pretty much, yep, and that was like you're reading my mind. That was what I was thinking the entire time going through TR. I'm like, great, where am I gonna go next?
Well, for you, Pod would have been very attractive. 4 items left, green pendant and pedestal would all be open afterwards.
Oh yeah, it was on my mind for sure.
Yeah, and what about those boots locations?
I'm not gonna wait. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't. Where were they?
Catfish.
That's right. That's right. Oh yeah, I'm glad.
The Dark World hint, and it's on Catfish.
Yeah. And we were a bit worried about you because you did all the flipper checks beforehand, and Taale went there pretty much after Aga, so we were a bit worried. When would you get those?
Yeah.
And Catfish is something that I'm want to skip. So
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people skip Catfish.
I'm glad that I did not this time.
Yeah, that was the other fun part about when you skip the Dark Death Mountain checks, because Dark Death Mountain is still Dark World. So I'm like, oh, there's 6 locations those boots could have been that you weren't checking. At least that wasn't the case. At least you didn't miss the boots there.
But you're right. I had that exact thought when I finally remembered. I'm like, great. I probably been missing out on the boots forever. But it was a good time. It was good, except for that deep hammer that required. Basically, I think it required ice, right? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. You had to go into hammerless ice to get your ether. Go to Misery Mire to get your mirror. To go to Checkerboard Cave.
Yep. And
that's quite the sequence.
That's gross.
Yeah. And before that, you had to dip Pendant Pot to get your fire rod to even be able to do something in ice. So that's right. That was nasty.
It was just one of them. It was just one of them.
But yeah, so coming up, you doing the Randomizer seeds next week, or what's your next mode that you're gonna be?
Yeah, I'll be up to play the Randomizer seed. I'm not exactly sure who we're playing yet, but I was gonna go check that out after this.
Sure. Yeah, that should be interesting. There's been quite a bit of talk in the commentator channels about which bosses can show up where. So hopefully everyone will be prepared for that, both the runners and the commentators.
Well, commentators, we always can just react to it, to play
That's
it.
Right.
Runners, they should know.
Yeah, it's more important that you know. Although it's nice to be able to public the right way.
Well, it's more fun for us commentators if the runners get it wrong. So
You just want the runners to have a hard time.
yeah, I think you could say that.
Ah,
Is
I'm
it
ready.
obvious? Is it obvious that I don't run myself?
I'll let Zeitnix answer that question. Or you'll listen back and you'll hear. But yeah, it's been. It will be interesting to see how the Randomizer seeds play out. Those are going to be fun next week.
Oh yes, very much looking forward to those.
But yeah, good luck on that. And anything else you want to add before we close things out?
Thank you to the comms, to the tracker, to the restreamer, to the admins. This is so much fun, and I'm having a great time. So I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you. But yeah, a lot more matches today coming up.
Yeah, right now we have on Speed Gaming 4, we have already running about good hour that race. So feel free to join over after we are finished here. Not too early.
Yeah, that is Team Challenge versus Error 216, Ridley Dragon versus Error. At 110 on Speed Gaming 4, we have Did You Check Your Boot versus Spaceballs, the Rando team. Jig versus Phantom Ryu. At 240 on Speed Gaming 5, we have Reheated Leftovers versus Major Mistakes, Mystic versus Alex Hacks. 310, we have Feline Paralysis versus Team Awesome, JJ Blue versus Ramond. In the evening, we have at 740, Land of the Blind versus the Sexy Gandon, Yodonashi versus Yagamoth. At 810, we have Yoshi's on Skis versus Old Swagga, Curality versus Kern. At 910, we have two races going on simultaneously. We don't know where those will be restreamed. Third Strongest Mole versus 2 Pearl 2 Furious, Westside Vandal versus Oasis 28.
Actually, that will be on the League 2 channel.
Okay. Also at 910, we have Team Challenge versus Error 216, Fajita Knight versus Boyne. I don't know if that's been given in. Go for it.
That will be on the League 1 channel.
And then at 1010 on Speed Gaming 5, we have Team We're Bad at Team Names versus the Missing Links, Clifford versus Phileon. And then more to come on Sunday. I'm not going to read off all the matches. I just read up all the Saturday matches, and there are a lot of them. But definitely a lot of Link to the Past Randomizer to keep your day going.
Yeah, and lots of very interesting runners coming up today.
But yep, I think that'll be it for us. I'd like to thank our tracker iBot, our runners Zeitnix and Taale. If you aren't already following them, Catabat, just put those in chat. Go ahead and hit those buttons. And also, of course, to my co-commentator Bigfoot. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to do it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks you too, Tracy. That was really a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll be commentating once more today. I don't know that yet, but
there's still spots open.
I've always submitted for the JJ Blue vs Ramond game, but it's not fixed now. So, well, we'll see. But otherwise, we'll wish to. How do I continue? Words.
We'll see you at the next one.
Yes,
tune in then. Tune into the other channel. See it and watch the other. And have fun. Enjoy them.
Yes.